We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome.
New statistics show that hate crimes against Muslims in Britain have increased 300% since the Paris terrorist attacks.
एक बात याद रखना बेटा, इस दुनिया में सिर्फ दो किस्म के इंसान हैं, अच्छे इंसान जो अच्छा काम करते हैं और बुरे जो बुरा। बस यही एक फर्क है इंसानों में और कोई नहीं।
But Islam at this moment is the mother lode of bad ideas. Jesus. So we have
That's
ideas
just a fact.
like blasphemy.
It's an ugly thing.
So hold on,
are you the person who understands the officially codified doctrine of Islam?
I mean, if Filipinos were capturing teenagers and sending them into white slavery, we would criticize that. We wouldn't say, well, they're
criticize
Filipinos.
the people who were doing it, not the Philippines. You know what I mean?
Well, what if the people
As a
who were...
Filipino kid lives down the street from you, would have nothing to do with that. We've killed more Muslims than they've killed us by an awful lot, and yet somehow we're exempted from these things because they're not really a reflection of what we believe in.
Donald Trump fired up a mostly cheering crowd at his rally in South Carolina tonight, but several protesters were taken, including a Muslim woman who stood silently during Trump's speech.
She was kicked out, presumably because of her shirt and the star. The shirt said, "Salam, I come in peace."
So I wanted to be very visibly saying, so that people wouldn't harass me, that I'm coming here peacefully, and Islam is a peaceful religion, and Islam is part of Salam. So
is this yellow patch? Is this a star
that's
reminiscent of the one Jews wore during the Holocaust? Is that what that is?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. Yes, it is. It's supposed to be reminiscent. That whole concept of categorizing Muslims or putting Muslims in in a database and having them have special identification cards is very reminiscent of the Nazi mentality.
They are branded as one of the most persecuted communities in the world by the UN. Targeted as a result of their religion and race, the Rohingya suffer oppressive levels of discrimination in the face of the Rakhine Buddhist majority. Land confiscation, forced labor, and denial of very basic human rights.
Prime Minister, you know full well that they are being persecuted in their own country. They tried to run away and they're refused entry to your country.
Well, why we should allow to enter our country?
When the word Islam comes to the surface, when people are from the mainstream hear the word Islam or Muslims, an image of negativity comes to their minds and their hearts. And we did a study in Toronto. We went to the different corporations. It was an anti-racist study. And this is where we were testing the psychology of people in relationship to different ethnic groups. And so there was a person who was a native, and there was a working woman, and there was a person of African descent. And I was the Muslim in this psychological test. And so they asked the people, look at the picture. And for instance, the picture would show them ice, and they answer cold. They see sugar, and they answer sweet. And then they saw Muslim or Islam. And every single person in the corporation answered violence. Some of them said holy violence. They said holy violence. And so when I began to explain to them that the word Islam, the very word itself, comes from peace, and it really means finding peace in submission to the Creator and beginning to explain what Islam is, the people were in confusion because what was presented to them, what they took in to be reality, was something different than what we know about Islam in the Muslim world. This is a case of deception.
मैं जानता था कि 9/11 में मरे अनगिनत मासूमों की मौत की कीमत पूरी इंसानियत को चुकानी होगी। My name is Khan, and I'm not a terrorist.